Bitcoin mining company Vinanz Limited has today been listed on the Aquis stock exchange in London under the ticker BTC. What a coup that was. Vinanz is run by AIM stock market veteran David Lenigas, who joins us now. David, welcome and congratulations. First of all,
thank you,
I want to talk about why Aquis. Many will know you, as I said, as a veteran of the AIM market, but you've chosen to list this here on the Aquis stock exchange. Why?
Yeah, no, you make a comment on AIM. I'm also chairman of Petro Energy, which is main board listed in London, 3 Australian listed stock exchanges companies. But Aquis is the only market that you can list a new Bitcoin miner on in London at the moment. Argo blockchain is listed on the LSE. The FCA pretty much made a ruling a little while ago that that would be the last one until the FCA reviewed their own policies and governmental policies with respect to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, which things are moving along in the positive direction. So we decided, Jeremy Eagleman and I have decided that Aquis was the right exchange to list this on at the moment, and it's been a labour of love for the last year putting the whole thing together.
As I said, congratulations, because today is the listing. But you did it under the ticker BTC. I can't believe that was still available. That was quite a coup.
No, we were talking to our advisors and lawyers the other week about ticker symbols, and we're going BNZ, going through a whole range of things. And I said, well, what about BTC? Is that available? And the lawyers and the advisors said, well, we'll get back to you. And the next day they said, no. The ticker symbol BTC is available, and I think that is a bit of a coup. It sort of focuses the mind on exactly what we do. We mine Bitcoin, and people who buy Vinanz ticker symbol BTC are effectively buying a proxy into Bitcoin and where they see the future of Bitcoin pricing going. So we're pretty excited about that.
Why move into Bitcoin mining? You are, as I said, you're a veteran of various markets, as you highlighted, but you are a specialist in oil and gas and mining. But here you are now in Bitcoin mining. It's the first time I've ever seen the name Lenigas and Bitcoin mining put together. Is that the case?
No, look, I'm a miner by profession, so I mine anything. But no, look, I understand Bitcoin very well. I mean, I helped Richard Poulton put the Bitcoin miners into Valerium. We bought those Bitcoin miners from Valerium because they want to focus on the final acquisitions of the Gibraltar Stock Exchange, and I think the ownership of Bitcoin miners in a wallet made it a bit more problematic for Richard and Valerium. So I said, look, we'll buy those miners. It makes us an operating company. So as we launch today, listed on Aquis. We have 20 miners spinning in Nebraska. We have 5 Bitcoins in the wallet. We're not an investment company. We are a Bitcoin miner. So our plan is to roll out as many Bitcoin decentralized clusters throughout North America, the USA and Canada, as we can over the course of the next year. We see with the next Bitcoin halving in 2024, the previous halvings of the number of Bitcoins available on a daily basis, which happens every few years, they halve the amount that are available. The Bitcoin prices exceeded the previous highs. So we see Bitcoin having quite a stellar run over the course of the next 12 to 18 months. And this is the time to start as many spinning machines as we can get, mining those algorithms and taking as much Bitcoin as we can get.
Yeah, you talk about Bitcoin, but my understanding is you're going into other cryptos as well. Is that the case?
We'll look at that. I mean, the only true coin of note is Bitcoin. Things like Ethereum, they're derivatives on it. There are no other real coins except for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is our prime focus. We will look at other types of cryptocurrency as life moves on, but really now our focus is Bitcoin.
Okay.
Bitcoin and converting Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself, mining Bitcoin, increasing the size of our wallet, and every now and again converting Bitcoin into US dollars or GBP or euros or yen or whatever we can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about Bitcoin as the benchmark, of course. But I noticed as well in the notes when you spoke about this company to the market, you're also looking at operations in the DeFi, the decentralized finance space and big data space as well in the future. This is moving into some really interesting areas that not many people know about. What are your aspirations?
Look, you really need the fundamental ownership of coins to go properly into those spaces. DeFi is a sector that's just growing so large and so fast. I mean, it's almost like, yeah, how quickly is AI growing? And it's becoming, pretty much mainstream in a number of sectors, even within governments and banks now. So because the building blocks of Binance are about Bitcoin mining and increasing our Bitcoin wallet, that gives us the ability as sectors sort of develop to really be sitting there looking with our currency base as Bitcoin going, well, where do we really want to go and move this company? We want the ability to have flexibility if we need to.
Talking about Bitcoin mining, I mean, it's a process which people have had to understand. Of course, it's quite energy intensive. There are various different ways of doing it. Whereabouts are you actually undertaking this process of mining Bitcoin?
Right. So at the moment, we have 20 Bitcoin miners spinning in Nebraska on a contract with Compass, which is a big data center owner. I think they've got about sort of 15 to 20 data centers throughout the USA and Canada. Each data center has its own sort of power costs. I mean, if you're close to hydro, your power cost is cheap. If you're, generated from nuclear, it's cheap. If it's generated from coal and gas, it's a bit more expensive. And obviously, with the price of power at the moment, prices are going up and have been for a while. The units that we bought from Valerium have a fixed price US cent component. I think it's about 6 or 6.5 cents. At the moment, we're going to pricing on about 15 centers in North America, and we're getting variances between sort of 6 cents and 8.5 cents per unit. And typically what you do is you lock in with your data center your electricity price, whether it's a 1, 2, 3 or 5 year contract, and they install them and manage them for you. So I mean, each one of these machines consumes 24/7, somewhere between 3 and 3.5 kilowatts, non-stop. So they're very energy intensive. And the next ones we're actually looking at, we're choosing to sort of, we'd like to announce our next acquisition of multiple size of what we've already got. And we're getting prices sort of around about the 6 to 6.5 cents on long-term contracts. And the other thing we're focusing on is if we can get our electricity from as much renewable as we can, we'll focus on that as well.
Yeah. Very, very briefly, share structure. My understanding is between you and Jeremy Edelman, who I think is the finance director, isn't it? You own the majority of shares. What's the long-term prospects? I mean, you're obviously trying now to engage with the retail space to get investors on board. What are your long-term plans in terms of share ownership?
Well, I mean, Jerry and I control a lot of the company. Clear Capital did an amazing job raising some funds. So pretty much the entire shareholder base that's free float sits within Clear Capital's book. Jeremy and I and a number of others who put this whole thing together are locked in, as is the rules. So we've got a very tight structure. Build the structure, build a number of Bitcoin miners, and see where we go. The world's our oyster on it, really.
Yeah, indeed. Rest of the year, what are your priorities now from here on in? What's the most important, most pressing issue?
I would like in the next couple of weeks to announce a big expansion of our Bitcoin portfolio, the Bitcoin spinning portfolio. So that is our total focus as of this morning. Whether it's next week or the week after or the week after that, if we can get to 1,000 miners, at the moment there's 20 miners in the portfolio. If we can get to 1,000 BTC mining machines operating in North America, the USA and Canada by the end of the year, that would be fantastic. If we can get to more, it would be even better.
Yeah. Look, David, we'll leave it there, but thanks indeed for joining. It's a pleasure to be able to catch up with you again on this new venture. That's David Lenigas. He is the man that's brought Vinanz Limited to the market through the Aquis stock exchange. For more videos from us here at IGTV, join us on Twitter at IGCom, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.